action video. Let go.
What is it? What is it? Freaking cat wash, okay? It's a cat. Why does it make that sound? I don't know. Why do you sound like you swallowed a cheese grater? Because I had tonsillitis as a child. You know that. You were there. Whatever. What do you want me to do with it? Look, it's 3 in the fucking morning, boss. You want me to get rid of it or what? No. A creature cunning enough to stealthily get past our impenetrable defenses could prove useful. I don't fucking believe this. What? You want a pet? And here I thought the great and terrible papyrus hated fuzzy-wuzzy little cute thing. It's not cute, Dad! Don't you ever say that again! I mean, look at its fangs! It's clearly a beast. Oh, so beastly, Sans. All right, it's a beast, okay? So, what are we gonna name it? I shall name it Doomfinger. Ooh, it likes that name, doesn't it? Yeah, sure, why not? Excellent. Then from this day forward, you shall be known as Doomfinger, the beast with a deadly bite. And you shall serve well, I haven't quite figured out what you will do yet, but I know that you will strike mortal terror into the hearts of my enemies. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Who's a good kitty? Who's a good kitty? You're a good kitty. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Good for him. Hope the Fell brothers got a cat. Whatever. Since this video's, I'm not gonna cut this video short, but since I just gotta give me a minute.
So last week was by far the drunk.
Alright, more comic dub. Let's go.
So last week was by far the drunkest I think I've ever been. Every couple of weeks, my friends and I like to do something called the trifecta, where we'll hit 3 separate happy hours here. There's a 6 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 12, and it's $10 all you can drink. And we just go and get real fucked up, but last week was something special. Last week was a whole new beast. It was just caution to the wind, sun's down, ass frowns. It was ridiculous how much we drank that night, and I just was annihilated. But I can remember almost everything from that night, and those memories that I have are probably some of the weirdest in all of my mind. For instance, at the 3rd happy hour we hit, a girl was flirting with me, and I really wasn't that interested, but I was making general small talk, what's your major, where are you from, etc. But I asked some really weird questions. I threw in some zingers, some real humdingers, but 2 of them really stand out, 2 of them that really stick with me. I asked her if she was a trombone enthusiast, because I guess I got it in my head that I wanted to be playing some goofy-ass instruments right then, because I love goofy-ass instruments. I own a ton of them, including the trombone. And I hit her with this, and it was like I asked her $1 million Jeopardy question, because she froze, and then she very sarcastically said, "Oh, the trombone, that's a great instrument. Don't you mean tromboner, though?" Oh, and then I was taken back. Excuse me? Are you insulting the trombone? And I guess you could tell that I was a little, a little perturbed that she was speaking about such a glorious instrument in a less than respectful tone. But anyway, the conversation continued. She didn't leave after asking that, surprisingly. But then I asked another weird one. I asked her if she liked milk. I have no idea why I asked her if she liked milk, but I did. And she said she liked milk, and then I was like, it's time to be a real gentleman. So I asked her if she wanted some milk. In my head, I was reasoning with myself, I've been drinking alcohol all night. Could really use something in my system that's not alcohol, sober up a little bit, cleanse my palate. Let's get some milk. And it doesn't register with me that this bar is not going to serve me milk. I go up to the bar and I'm asking them for milk. They're obviously not going to serve me milk. I'm probably the first lunatic in the 400 years that bars existed to ask for milk. But it doesn't click with me. It just doesn't, it doesn't make any sense, in my head. Man, why aren't they serving me milk? And I'm turning to people left and right like, can you believe this shit? They're not serving me milk. What kind of fucking establishment is this? How do they not have milk on tap, But anyway, I'm there for about 10, 15 minutes making a real fool of myself trying to get some milk. The girl probably left the second I asked for milk because that's just a weird thing to do. So obviously I don't blame her for leaving. I would have done the same thing. And then, I find my friends and we decide we want pizza. And I want 3 slices of pizza, so I get 3 slices of pizza. I get the pizza, decide I only want 1. So I take the other 2 slices. I shout, kablasto, slam them together, and create an explosion of grease. Surprisingly, it doesn't get on any of us, but I wasted 2 perfectly good slices of pizza and $8 or $6, one of the two, I can't remember.
Rip.
But yeah.
Ripping pizza. Alright, more reactions. Yes, I love this. I love it. I love it.
Another story. Another story I heard about myself. This one happened in high school. We had this teacher in high school whose kid went to our high school. His name was Mr. McNamara, and his son Jake McNamara went to our high school. He was a sophomore when I was a senior, so he was 2 years behind me. And Mr. McNamara was an asshole. And one weekend, he and his wife decided to leave town, which you should never do if you're an asshole. And Jake McNamara decided to throw a party at the teacher's house.
He evolved.
Hooray! And everyone around town heard about it, and we all got up individually and thought, okay, let's go over there and destroy the place. I walked into this party. Everyone I had ever met was there, and everyone was drinking like it was the end of the world. People were drinking like it was the Civil War and a doctor was coming to saw our legs off. It was totally unsupervised. We were like dogs without horses. We were running wild. I walked down to the basement. They had a pool table in the basement. One dude took a running start and threw his body onto the pool table and broke it in half. Another kid found out which room was Mr. McNamara's and went upstairs and took a shit on his computer. So the party was going great. I'm standing in the basement and I'm holding a red cup. You've seen movies. And I'm standing there and I'm holding a red cup and I'm starting to black out. And I guess someone said like, something police. And in a brilliant moment of word association, I yell, fuck the police! Fuck the police! And everyone else joined in. 100 drunk white children yelling, fuck the police. With the confidence of guys who have like already been to jail and aren't afraid of it anymore. You know, that like, I served my nickel, you come and take me confidence. But the white children. The reason someone had said something police was because the police were there. So a Chicago police officer walked down the stairs and got to the bottom in the basement and looked out over a sea of drunk toddlers yelling, fuck the police, in his face. And he was almost impressed. And then he leaned into his walkie-talkie and went, get the paddy wagon. And my friend John, who is now a father, this man now has a baby, he grabbed a 40, smashed it on the ground and yelled, scatter! And everyone ran in a different direction. We all ran in different directions. It was like that scene in Ratatouille when the humans come in the kitchen and all the rats go in different ways. We all ran in different directions. I ran into the laundry room and I jumped up on the washing machine and I crawled out through a window into the backyard and now I'm running through the backyard and there was this big chain link fence and I thought, I've never climbed a fence that high before. And then I woke up at home. On Monday, I went to school because that's what we did back then. And I'm walking into the school building and who do I see but Jake McNamara. And he says to me, hey, were you at my party on Saturday? And I said, no, you know, like a liar. And he said things got really out of hand. Someone broke the pool table. Someone took a shit on my dad's computer. But the worst thing, he said, the worst thing is that someone stole these old antique photos of my grandmother, and my parents are freaking out about it. And I had that thought that only blackout drunks
and Steve
Urkel
Urkel.
can have.
Yeah, you never forget about Steve Urkel.
Did I do that? I figured no, I wouldn't have done that. But I was never sure until 2 years later. Relax. we also went to high school with. 2 years later, we've graduated by now. We're playing video games for a couple hours. And then Alex says to me, "Hey, come here. I want to show you something." And he takes me into his bedroom. And then he takes me into a side room off of his bedroom. Never
that's
a
actually
good
from
thing to
Undertale.
have. He shows me a tiny room that is covered wall to wall in stolen antique photos from different people's parties over the years. And I said, why? Why do you do this? And Alex said, because it's the one thing you can't replace.
And we're done here. Like, comment, subscribe.